Good day, everyone. This is Richard again for another edition of Learning with Rich. So for today's lesson, I'm going to teach you how to create and use spaces in your project. Because as you all know, many projects such as renovations proceeds in phases, so each representing a distinct time period in the life of the project. That is according to the Autodesk Revit 2016 help. Okay, so pacing will let us to be aware of time on what is happening on our project. Okay, so I'm going to teach you how to use our pace. This one, you can find it on the Manage tab, Pacing panel, so you will see here paces. Okay, so what is the workflow of doing pacing? Okay, so number one, so you need to determine the paces of work that you want to track for the project and create a pace for each. So if I'm going to click the paces here, so you will see that on my project paces tab, so I have here two paces. So I have existing and I also have new construction pace. And then as you can see, this portion, this is the past, and then this is the future. Again, you also have an option here, okay, if you want to add the pace. So for example, depending on your office standards and the needs of the project, you might create paces named pace 1, pace 2, pace 3, okay? So you can change the name of these default paces. So as you create pace, okay, so this is the old pace, this is the past, and here is the new pace. So every time you add, okay, you see? So this is the latest pace. So this is the oldest pace. Okay? So that's how you add your pace. So another thing, aside from determining the paces of work that you want to track for the project, so the next thing that we need to do is you need to create one or more copies of a view for each pace and name these views appropriately, which is what we are going to do on this exercise. Okay, and then aside from that, you also need to specify what are the pace filters that you're going to use to control the display of elements for that view. And aside from that, you also have the graphic overrides here. Okay, for the different paces statuses. So let's say, for example, I'm going to create here 3 pace. Okay, so I'm going to create 3 pace. I'm going to cancel this first, right? And then going back to my paces here. So I'm going to create the 3 paces here. So I already have 2 pace. So I'm going to select here after. Okay, just like that. And then after that, I'm going to name this pace. Let's say, for example, this is my existing pace. And then let's say I'm going to change the name of this to main entry. And then for the third pace, I'm going to change this to interior renovation. Renovation. Okay? And then I'm going to select here the pace filters. As you can see, we have the default paces here. So when you say show complete, it will show you all the elements in new paces, existing pace, but it will not display elements under demolish and temporary. Okay? And then you can also check the other paces here. So by the way, when you say by category, okay, by category means the default settings of the visibility graphic overrides of your model. Okay, if you say here overridden, meaning the settings of your overridden, this is based on the settings of your graphic overrides. Alright? So when you say by category, that is the default visibility graphic overrides of the material or the elements. So when you say here overridden, this is the setting of your elements using the graphic overrides. Okay? So what I'm going to do is, after I create this three paste, okay, so this is the old paste, and then this is the newest paste. Alright, so I'm going to select here, okay. Alright, so what I'm going to do is, I'm going to select this model. Okay, so this is now the story. So we're going to do some renovation in this model. We're going to do some renovation in the exterior part, and then later on the interior part of our model. Okay, so this is the story. So once you get to the site, you see this building model, right? So meaning to say, the base of this model, it should be under what? It should be under existing, right? Because when you went to the site, you see this model, okay, you see this model, so meaning this building is already existing, right? So that's why I'm going to select all the elements, and then I'm going to make sure that the base created here is existing. Okay, so that's it. So you will notice the color also change, because if I'm going back to the paces here, if I go to the graphic overrides, you will see that that is the setting of my existing. You see it's gray here. Okay, so that's the color. So I'm going to select here. Okay. Alright. Now that we have set up this model as an existing model, so what I'm going to do is, I'm going back to the paces. Again, I'm going to make sure that I created here three paces. Okay, because I'm going to do some modification on the exterior part and then the interior part. Okay, so aside from that, I'm going to set up also my graphic overrides. So I click the graphic overrides tab, and then for the demolish, I'm going to change this to colored red. Okay, so I'm going to change that to red. This should be red, so that any elements that I demolish, it will becomes red with the pattern of demolish lines. Same with the cut here. So I select this, and then I change the color to red. Then okay. Okay. There you go. After that, I select okay. Now, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to duplicate multiple level 1 here. So I'm going to work on my level 1 to show different phases of my level 1. So I'm going to rename this first. Rename. And let me call this level 1 existing. Okay, so level 1 existing, and then I select okay. No need to rename the corresponding level and views. So I'm going to open up the level 1. So this is the existing view. Okay, so this is the level 1 existing. And then I'm going to make sure that here on the paste filter, I'm going to select here, show complete. And then from here, I select existing. There you go. So what is the setup of my show complete? So if I go back again to paces, paste filters, you will see that my show complete here, it will show me all the new and existing elements, but it will not display any elements from demolish and temporary paces. Okay, so I'll just select here okay. Now, so after I set up my level 1 existing, I'm going to duplicate this. I'll just duplicate, and then I'll name this. Right click, rename. Okay, so I'll name this exterior demolition. Alright, so exterior demolition, and then I'm going to duplicate again level 1 existing. So this is the workflow. Okay, so level 1 existing, and then you just need to change the name again. Okay, so we are trying to create copies of view for each phase, and then we're going to name these views appropriately. Okay, so this is my level 1 existing duplicate, so I'll just rename this. So let's say this will becomes my main entry. Alright, so main entry, again, I'm going to duplicate level 1, duplicate, rename. Okay, so this time, this is my interior demolition. Okay, interior demolition, I select OK, and then I duplicate again, rename, and this is my interior renovation. So basically, these are the views that I'm going to set up. I'm going to set up my exterior demolition view, the interior demolition view, the level 1 existing, which is already set up. This one is already set up. So when you went to the site, this is the existing model, right? And then I'm going to set up also the main entry. Okay? So after I set up the level 1 existing, after we duplicate the views, so this time, I'm going to show now the phases. Okay, I'm going to use the phases to show demolition and reconstruction. But first, okay, so I'm going to open first my exterior demolition. Okay, open the exterior demolition. And then from here, the phase filter, I'm going to select here show demolition plus new. And then for the phase, so I'm already done with the existing phase. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to change this to the next phase, which is main entry. So that is my next phase, the main entry phase. And then from here, I just select. Okay, I forgot to turn off my Facebook. Okay, so this is my main entry. Okay, and then after that, I select here show complete. Okay, so show complete. And then this is my main entry. Alright. So after that, I'm now going to start to demolish my elements. So this is my exterior demolition view. So to demolish an element from the Modify tab, I'm going to select the hammer. Okay, so this is the demolish tool. So I select the demolish tool. So let's say on my exterior demolition view, so I'm going to demolish this. Okay, and then I'm going to demolish this. I'm going to demolish this, and then the wall. Now, for me to be able to show those demolished elements in this view, since this is exterior demolition, so I'm going to change my phase filter. So I'm going to select here, show previews plus demo. Okay, and then apply. So there you go. So these are now my demolished elements. Okay, so what is the setting of my phase filter view? Okay, so if I go back to the manage and then check the phases here, and then from the phases, phase filters, so you will see that show previous demo will display the existing view, which is set to overridden, meaning the setting of the graphic overrides here, and then also the demolish element. It will not show the temporary, it will not show the new elements. So only the existing and demolish elements. Okay, so that's the reason why it looks like this. And of course, our phase here is main entry because we are already finished on our existing phase, right? That's why we move to the second phase or to the next phase, which is on the next phase, we're going to do some demolition, which is what I just did. Okay, So I demolish the door here, windows, and then the wall here. Okay, so the paste filter is show previous plus demo, and then the paste here is main entry. So after setting my exterior demolition view, I'm now going to the main entry view. Okay, so main entry view, I select this, I open, and then in this view, I'm going to change the pace here because again, we are already finished with the existing. So I'm now working on the main entry. Apply. Okay, so it looks like this. So this is now the main entry. So again, I'm gonna make sure the paste filter here is show complete this time. Why? Because this is already the renovation part, the main entry, wherein I'm going to put some renovation. So I want to show the complete view. The setting of my complete filter is it will show the new elements, it will show existing, but it will not show demolish and temporary. Okay? So in this view, on my main entry renovation, so I'm now going to add here elements. Let's say for the door, I'm going to place the new door here. And then I'm going to place window here. 1, 2. And then apply. Alright, so this is now my view on the main entry renovation view. Okay, you see the paste filter here is show complete, which shows only the existing and then the new construction. And then of course the paste here is still main entry. We are still on the main entry part, main entry paste. Same with the exterior demolition. Okay, so if I select exterior demolition, so you see we're still on the main entry paste. Alright, so this is our first view. When we went to the project, we see this model. So this is the existing. And then after that, the next part of the story is we did some demolition. That's why I opened this. So we are now showing the demolition elements. Then after we did some demolition, we did renovation. Exterior renovation for the main entry, which is now this one. Right. Okay. Now, for the next part is, we are going to do some demolition on our interior view. Okay, so I'm going to open the interior demolition this time. So what do you think is the pace for this interior demolition? Okay, so of course, the pace now here is interior renovation pace or the last pace. Okay, so we are done with the existing, the main entry. We're now going to move on the latest pace. Or for example, this is your phase 1, phase 2, and I'm going to move now to the phase 3. These are just names. You can just change this. Okay, it doesn't necessarily means follow that when you see existing there, when you see new construction there, you cannot change the name. They're just a name. You can change that. Okay, you can make it phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Okay, so it's up to you. Now, I'm on the interior part of the model. So I'm going to select now here interior renovation phase or the last phase. Okay, the latest phase. Right? Now for the interior demolition, so for the phase filter, I'm going to change this to just like my exterior demolition. I'm going to show the previous phase or the previous elements and then the demolition. So I select this. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, since this is interior demolition, so I'm going to demolish some elements here. So I select again the demolish. Okay, so this time I'm going to demolish this wall, this wall, this wall, and then this wall. Alright, so this is now my interior demolition. So again, the paste filter here is show previews plus demo. And then the latest phase is interior renovation. Okay, so that's it. So after I set up my interior demolition, I'm now going to open the interior renovation. Okay, the paste filter here is show complete. Why? Because I want to show again the existing elements and then the new elements. Okay, so that's why I select here show complete. And then the paste, again, we are finished with the existing paste. That's why I'm gonna change that to the latest paste, interior renovation. Okay, so this is now my interior renovation view. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some new elements. Okay, so I just draw here. I'll check the chain. For example, I want to place the wall here. Okay, I want to create a wall here. Wall here. So wall, mirror to the other side. And then I'm gonna put a door here, single door. For example, this is now the renovation, the interior renovation. There you go. Okay. So this is now the complete addition and alteration job in this building model for our first level. So the story is, when we went to the project site, we saw this layout. And then after that, we did some exterior demolition. Okay, so this is the demolish elements. After we did some demolition, so we just did some exterior renovation for our main entry. So this is now the renovation. So after the exterior part, so we move on to our interior part. We did some interior demolition, which is this one. And then after that, this is the renovation. There you go. Okay. All right. So actually from here, you can play the view. Let's say, oh, sorry again. My Facebook is very active right now. Okay. Uh, so I'm gonna show you here the existing view. So this is the existing view, right? You can also do this in one view, even if you do not create multiple views. But much better if you create multiple views, okay? Just like what I did in this exercise. So right now I'm just playing with the different pace here, right? So you can click here, see? So this is my existing before. So this is my main entry. Okay, and then this is my interior pace. Okay, for example, this is your pace one. Pace one, because you can change this one. It's just a name. You can change this. All right, then you move to the pace two. And then the last pace, pace three. There you go. Right? You can also do that in 3D view if you go to the 3D here. Alright, so what I'm going to do here, I want to show the complete element. So I select here show complete. So again, it will show you the existing element and then the new construction. It will not show you demolish elements or temporary elements. And then, yes, the latest phase 3 or the interior renovation. See? So you can also play here. Change the paces. So this is the pace one, right? Then the customer said, oh, I want to do some exterior renovation. Okay, so this is now the exterior renovation. And then after that, you did the last renovation for the interior. There you go. Okay. So that's how you use your pace. So if you want to modify the colors, you can also change the color of your paces. Okay, you can just change the color from here, just like what we did on our demolish elements. Okay, so that's the importance of our paces. Okay, it will makes you aware of time for your project. Okay, so it's very important, especially if your project is A&A project like addition and alteration or resubmission, right? Okay, there you go. So this is now my level 1 existing. And then after that, exterior demolition. So we're doing some renovation project or A&A project. And then this is my main entry, interior demo, interior renovation, WT, ZA. Okay, so these are the different phases of this project. There you go. So hopefully in this exercise, at least you learned something from this video. Okay, so hope I can see you next time for another edition of Learning with Rich. And until then, bye-bye.